What's up, everybody? If you don't know me, my name's Shannon Ali. I'm a CEO, owner of 12 Productions. I'm also a Bentley Records musician slash producer. But anyway, the purpose of this video is today, my homeboy hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I'm trying to migrate over to Ableton from FL Studio." I was like, "All right, cool." And I was like, "I'll make you a short series of tutorials and stuff to get you up and running. You know, instead of having to watch countless thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of stuff like I did." I told him I'll just make him some quick stuff to get you up and running. So that's what I'm going to do. And I thought about it. I'm like, shit, why don't I just make this little Ableton Live production series? So here we are. Today going to be step one. And like I said, it's mainly for boom bap producers, trap, rap, R&B, stuff like that. I mean, anybody can honestly will be able to find some kind of benefit from this. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get y'all up and running, and I'm gonna show y'all how to do all kind of quick stuff, so you ain't gotta, spend 3 weeks trying to lay down your first melody and shit like that. So I hate long intros, so let's get it. I'm out. All right. So I'm assuming everybody who's downloaded a DAW of any source knows to double click it to open it. The reason mine says beta is because I'm actually on the beta testing program for Ableton, and yeah, so yours will be this blue color down here, right down there. See your mouse right down there. All right, so when you open it up, it'll automatically look like this. And I advise, unless you're like a performer and plan on performing, which I mean it's good to know both sides. I'm going to explain what both sides is real soon. But it has two different views. It has a little clip launch. I call it the performance view, and then the track out view, which everybody's used to. Like this is just a linear view where you have the tracks and you can add layers. This you make clips, and you can launch the clips in sync with tempo, etc. Anyway. So you hit the tab button, and y'all pay attention now, because I'm literally gonna be what you eating, man? I'm literally gonna be dropping little hints and stuff, not little hints, but major hints that's gonna speed up workflow and shit like that. And I don't know, maybe if y'all want me to go more in depth on that shit, you can just let me know in the comments below, and yeah, whatever. So anyway, hit tab to go to this view. Now immediately, you're going to go to options, preferences. This is how you set up, obviously, your audio interface when you have audio coming out of. I'm using ASIO drivers. I'm on Windows, but I have the voice meter running just because I'm doing the screen recording, and for some reason it's fucking stupid getting screen recording this to run regularly on your interface. Anyway, so what you would pick was whatever interface you want to use. Pick it, select it. And then obviously you click this hardware setup button to adjust your buffer size and stuff. Then you'll see your buffer size change down here, and that's how you get audio out of Ableton. So options, preferences, audio tab. Audio tab. Go to audio device, change it to whatever interface you have. If you just run ASIO drivers, just click ASIO drivers. Cool. I'm not really gonna go into all of these because, like I said, I'm trying to get y'all started fucking quick. I'm trying to get y'all to get Ableton and fucking make beats within 15 minutes. Hopefully this shit only lasts 15 minutes. I'm aiming 15-20 minutes. But anyway, plugins. I'm assuming that if you're coming from another DAW or whatever, or if you have third-party plugins downloaded on your computer, come into plugins, hit rescan. And Ableton will scan whatever plugin folders you have set. And you can set your plugin folders right here. And it basically tells you where to scan at. Word of advice, put all your plugins in the right fucking spot, because if not, it's just a hassle later. Alright, look and feel, blah, you don't really need to know that in regards to making music. Now this left side over here where you see favorites and all that stuff, and sounds and drums, this is where your browser is for your plugins, your sounds, your audio effects, for mixing and mastering and shit like that. I'd recommend adding a folder with just all your sound kits in it, just because it helps speed up workflow. Ding, 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 speed up workflow. Everybody wants to make beats fast and good. Quality and quantity. Remember that. Add folder, blah blah. Select your sound kits. They'll all load to the window to the right of it. Plugins will load right here. You can see your VST2s and VST3s. MIDI effects, these are just the default stuff that comes with whatever version of Ableton you have. Audio effects, same thing. EQs, pitch and compressors and all kind of stuff. Sounds, those are the stock sounds that come with Ableton. So like I said, this is all your browser stuff. If you want to add something into a track over here, I want to delete these actually and start from nothing. That's how you do it. So before you start, this is where the tempo is. Tempo's up here, top left. You can change and adjust your tempo. Let's go 1/3. I'm not actually gonna make a beat today. I might throw in some loops or whatever, but I'm actually gonna, like, the second, like, post episode to episode 1 or whatever, tutorial 1 for this is gonna be me actually just making a beat and going through everything that I told y'all real quick as fuck. Sorry, excuse me. Anyway, so this is how you change your time signature. To the right of the tempo, you can change it to 3/4, 4/3, or whatever you weird people want to do. And this little 2 dot button right here is where you do your counting and your metronome. I typically have that on 1 bar for, making music, and I enable the metronome while recording. So therefore, whenever you record, it'll start. You hear the metronome. Now this is your transport bar. Obviously, play, stop, record. You always want to have this. Well, I always have this enabled because it lets you rewrite over things when you record it, and I'll show you here in a second. This is for automation, so it lets you write automation in. So if you're recording and you go to the volume and you move the volume up and down, it'll automatically write that automation in. Pretty dope. This record button used to confuse the fuck out of me before I actually knew how to use Ableton, but this is basically for clip launch. Just don't touch it unless you plan on making clips, which I'm not going to get into. This enables your loop. And another thing too is if you hover over things and click this little bottom arrow in the bottom left, it gives you little hints, which is pretty dope. Like, that's a punch-in switch. Activate this to prevent a range from recording prior to the punch-in point. I always have those on basically so it doesn't overwrite stuff if I don't want it to. Alright, so this is your loop point right here. So right now I have it on 8 bars, and you can go to 13, you can do whatever you want to. I usually just do 8 because I'm trying to get started quick, you know what I'm saying? So right now I have 1 audio track. I wanted to record something and or drop loops in. This is where I would do it. So let's go to Splice and find a random ass loop. Yeah, I use it already. Spacebar starts and stops. You guys will figure that out. Drop it in there. Now you have an audio track with a loop on it. Hit space to play. Now you have your first loop on your first track. Now you have noise. If you go to play it, you don't hear any noise, that means your options are messed up, or you have something muted, which you shouldn't if you haven't touched anything, you've been following along. Double click opens up basically just the editing stuff, and I mean you can reverse it, you can warp it, and warp is like their version of time. Come on, buddy. Or it's their version of like time stretch and stuff. If you want to warp stuff, keep it on Complex Pro. Right here where I just changed, keep it there. Just sounds better. You can pitch things up and down. So another thing too, you have warp enabled. If you change the BPM, it'll match it, so it won't ever like go off beat. Watch. So it automatically stretches it depending on how fast or slow the BPM is. And you can go to pitch. Cool beans. That's how you pitch up and down, keep it in pro if you want to do it. Enabling warp will make it to where obviously you got to get the BPM right. So this is 80, so enable warp, I have to go put it in 80 or else the thing won't loop right. My dog barking for it, bro. In regards to recording, you hit this arm button, and that's literally it. And you hit the record button, and the record is not going to do it for me right now, so I got this weird audio setup right now for the screen recording. But you hit record, hit F9 on Windows, or just go to the record button, record, and record. Command Z, go backwards, like undo basically. Also shortcuts. C is to arm the track. case you didn't want to click the button. Like I said, workflow. You want to work fast. All right. Now that track was already there. To create another track, you right click in this gray area and you'll see insert audio track, MIDI track, or return track. Now if I wanted to insert another audio track, cool, let's do that. We can Command R to rename drums. Let's find a random, my dog in here fucking walking around like an alien. Alright. Throw those down there. Now you got drums. Now you got a drum track, you got a loop track. Let's play it. Cool beans. That easy. Now you just arranged, bro, my man. I wish y'all can see this dude. But you just arranged a melody and a drum track. Great. Now you just made a beat. You're basically fucking Dr. Dre. If you really want me to tell you the truth, dog. You made it. You guys fucking made it. Anyway, that's how you do that. Now let's get to MIDI tracks. Let's see, it should work. Yeah. MIDI track. Now I have a MIDI track, and you'll notice too that you can't slide audio into what the fuck? That was weird. Shouldn't be able to. Insert MIDI track. It should be like, that might be some beta stuff. I don't know. It should be like, oh, you want to put this into a harmony or whatever. Let me see what the fuck. That's weird. Anyway, open your MIDI track and you can go to your plugins here. Let's find, let's open up Omnisphere. Where the fuck is the thing at? Retrosonics, Omnisphere. Let's go to some guitars. Now you see you've loaded your first VST onto your MIDI track. I have a keyboard right here. Easy. Oh yeah, these sliders right here are obviously volume. The C is for center for pan and left, pan and right. Double click puts it back to center. You see it's already armed. With most MIDI tracks, it'll do that. It'll automatically arm, so you can just kind of click in between them. If not, just hit the C button. It's kind of finicky, honestly. But like I said, I have the beta version, so this should be doing some crazy stuff. But yeah, so let's mute this. So you can just mute it by turning off this yellow square right here. See the one? Now that's not there, or not active. Only the drums are. You go back to there. You want it to record, let's just go here. Obviously F9 is a hotkey, but if you don't know how to remember hotkeys, go up here, click. Alright, now you just recorded your first piano or not piano track, but I mean, I guess kind of piano track. Anyway, I'm not ever going to use the push here because this is like an $800 machine that's just for Ableton, but this is actually very useful if you do want to get into using Ableton like hardcore. There's a lot of shortcuts and all kind of scales and shit. Alright, so you see how it's all highlighted. If it's not, Control A selects everything. Or you can be weird and just do this. But that's just weird. So Control A, hotkeys are your friend. Right click, quantize. Gotta throw it to the nearest grid. You want to change the settings, right click, do that. And then you can see, you can kind of mess with swing or current grid. You can obviously do the 1/8, 1/4, 1/6, 1/6 triplet, etc., etc. Adjust the note start and end point. I usually just leave it at start. Throws it on 1/16. So this should all be quantized now. All right, there we go. You're basically Zaytoven now. You're basically Zaytoven, bro. Now again, if you want to edit the sounds that you have in your VST, just like your audio tracks, you just go click on them, whatever. You can click on them here, double click on them here for audio tracks, but for MIDI, if you double click the track, you got to go down and hit the little wrench. You can bring up and you can cycle through your sounds. So. Cool beans. There we go. So now you have your first audio track where you dropped in the loop. You have your first drum track where you put in some drums, and you have your first MIDI track where you're playing the piano. Now, there's also a very important thing called a drum rack, and this is in the stock Ableton instruments. This is how you load your drums if you don't want to load them individually, and I'll show you how to do that too in a second. Where we at? I don't know where we are. 15 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep it under 20. All right, so you go ahead, open up your new MIDI track, and click drum rack. Now you see down here in the bottom left, you have basically 16 pads, which is why I love this thing. You can just put them on there. Anyway, so you go here to your sound kits that you already have preloaded because you want to work faster, and more efficiently, and you just find some kicks. Also, if you're playing your sounds and you're not hearing anything, it's because you don't have this button clicked right here, which is like basically it automatically plays the sound when you click it. Cool beans. Let's throw that kick down there on C1. Let's find a snare real quick. Boy wonder, sure. Let's do that. Let's do this. Have them all in line. Let's find a hi-hat. So right now I'm just dragging and dropping sounds onto the drum rack. Kind of make it easier to use. Sorry, my lights be turning off. And automatically, I got the fancy lights, cuz. All right, we back. All right, so let's do that. Cool beans. Now, if you have a MIDI controller, which I'm assuming you do, because that'll be one of the first things I buy when I get a DAW. So MIDI controller or some kind of controller to make things a little bit easier. MIDI controller is just a piano, you know what I'm saying, or this or whatever. So I can see, like I said, I'm not going to use this because that's like a cheat code. I can see that right now I'm at C2 and I put everything on C1. So let's go down an octave. There's my kick. There's my snare. There's my accent snare. There's my hi-hat. So now I have a full drum rack ready to play. Now let's turn off these other drums that we have up here in the loop. And let's record something. F9. Like I said, the overwrite thing with that plus sign, that's what this is for. Don't worry about stopping and starting. Alright. Now, we have that all lined up right here. Here's our drums. Kick, snare, accent snare, hi-hat. Let's quantize. Sometimes that should be kind of off. Like you can tell this one right here is kind of off. Let me see. Yeah, this one right here is off too. So you always want to check your quantize, especially if you playing that shit like ass like I just did. What am I doing with my life? How did that get there like that anyway? Delete. Obviously, you can click on notes and delete them. Pretty self-explanatory. This is just me tightening up my piano roll because I fucked that shit up real bad. I don't really know how I got that off. I don't know what the fuck. It didn't sound like it. You know, whatever. That's part of making music. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be fucking shit up. Now, since I have those right here, right, what I can do is I can drag and drop. So left click, select all those, delete. Then I'll select the ones that I have on. Control, duplicate. Shouldn't do it right, boy. Oh yeah. When you duplicate, you wanna duplicate from the point that you want to duplicate. Obviously, that's why it moved to the like fours that didn't have it online. But duplicate. Jesus Christ. Oh, maybe it's this dumbass fucking snare. What am I doing? I'm like, bro, I moved the wrong shit. Why is it doing that? All right. Just kidding. All right. Anyway, you got a drum kit and some kicks, some snares, some hi-hats, some accent snares, cool beans. So you just made your first melody, made your first drum track. You did your first drop-in for drums that are already made, and did your first drop-in loop up here. Now let's see what else we can do. For boom bap producers, this is gonna really be for you guys. Probably the last thing I hit on for right now for this episode. Open up Simpler, which is an instruments simpler. This is basically like Ableton sampler. And let's go drag in a loopity loop. What is this one? All right, so quick tutorial on Simpler. Classic just plays the sample either fast or low as fuck or whatever. If you want to slice it, click slice, and I usually slice by transients. If I just want to get some shit out real quick. Oh, that's why, because my shit's on top of my MPC. That's why it's doing that. But fucking hell. I need a bigger desk, bro. All right. What the fuck is going on? And you can divide it by whatever you want to. So 1/4 is kind of quick. Let me see. Actually, let me see. I'm gonna turn this back off. Turn the good drums back on. It's really that simple in regards to slicing. So you drag a sample in. Wow, let's see what this one is. That sounds cool. So let's drag it in. Go to slice by on the bottom, right next to trigger. Put it to beat. That's it. Then let's just record something. It's a lot faster than I thought. Actually, this is a case where you want to make the chops bigger. So let's do by 1/2. That's actually pretty dope. I actually might make a beat for that. I actually might record myself making that beat next for the next one. I'm actually going to keep this session. That's easy. There you go. That's how you slice. And where we at? Where we at? 24 minutes. Ah, fuck. I can probably slice this down to 20 minutes. All right. Well, that's how you go. Obviously, that's how you first, start. We did a bunch of stuff today. We covered dragging and dropping in loops, dragging and dropping in drums to get a complete beat, because that's what a lot of people do. Surprise. We added a MIDI track, played some piano on it. We added a drum track, played drums by ourselves with a kick snare, accent snare, hi-hat. And then we just sliced the beat right now using Simpler and using transient slicing on like 1/2 and 1/4. Now to save, easy peasy, save as. That's it. And yeah. I guess we covered a lot more. We covered how to set up your audio settings, the browser, all kind of stuff. So the next episode, I'll get more in depth with things. Maybe go over some automation or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope it helps out, and I hope it helps out for my homie who I'm making this for. So y'all be easy. If you have any ideas or any suggestions on what I should cover next, or like things you have questions about, leave it in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because help me make money off this shit, bro. You feel me? You feel me? All right, peace.